Poetry Fix on Radio Free Hillsdale 101.7 FM. I'm your host, Erica Kaiba, bringing you your weekly fix of poetry from across time. Today, in honor of the upcoming St. Patrick's Day, we're reading Beggar Cried by the Irish poet William Butler Yeats. This poem, on the surface level, is a conversation between two beggars who are looking for a stable, secure life. They long for a comfortable wife and house, and dream of eventually growing, quote, respected at their ease, and having peace. They are harried, however, by various demons, such as the devil in their shoes, which prevents them from settling down. They seem to believe that acquiring the wife and house will exorcise the demons that force them to live a vagrant life. But it's worth asking whether this is necessarily the case. If the devil in your shoes is driving you from place to place, what makes you think it won't simply drive you out of your security once you have it? In many ways, these themes of frenzy and the longing for a seemingly unreachable security are universal. Beggar, after all, does not necessarily refer to one who begs for money. Anyone who is desperate enough for something to plead for it, as many people are at some point, can be called a beggar. A person can beg for attention, for love, for mercy. Begging speaks to something desperate within the human soul, and the beggars of this poem seem to be desperate for a place of rest and contentment. Yet they begin the poem by declaring their intention to put off the world and go somewhere. The first urge that strikes them is that of escapism. Despite wanting to have peace, they cannot quite help being frenzy-struck. Note also that they have no clear destination in mind. It only matters that they want to go somewhere that isn't where they are right now. They also express a desire to find their health again in the sea air, implying a sickness of a literal or perhaps spiritual nature. Given the spiritual state that the beggars find themselves in, is it certain that they could ever be satisfied with a secure life? Let's consider that as we dive in. Beggar Cried by William Butler Yeats. Time to put off the world and go somewhere, and find my health again in the sea air, beggar cried, being frenzy-struck, and make my soul before my pate is bare, and get a comfortable wife and house to rid me of the devil in my shoes, beggar cried, being frenzy-struck, and the worst devil that is between my thighs. And though I'd marry with a comely lass, she need not be too comely, let it pass. Beggar cried, being frenzy-struck, but there's a devil in a looking-glass. Nor should she be too rich, because the rich are driven by wealth as beggars by the itch, beggar cried, being frenzy-struck, and cannot have a humorous happy speech. And there I'll grow respected at my ease, and here amid the garden's nightly peace, beggar cried, being frenzy-struck, the wind-blown clamor of the barnacle geese. You've been listening to The Poetry Fix with Erica Kaiba. If you enjoyed this episode, consider following The Poetry Fix on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And if you have any poems you want to see in a future episode, email your suggestions to thepoetryfix@gmail.com. Join me next week, and we'll be returning to Eliot's The Hollow Man.